Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? We're still here, and so are you. Welcome to another episode of the Token Hobbs Show on the roads to liberty. I'm glad you're all here joining us on this beautiful Tuesday night. It's allergy season. I am currently suffering the effects of that. So, fun times. Nothing ever gets better in Nebraska. It just turns into a different version of bad. So that's what I'm currently dealing with. It went from unbearably cold to a couple weeks of decent weather, and now my freaking whole face is just not having it. Wants nothing to do with it. So that's fun. So what's up, Hobbs? What's going on?
Still working.
Still working, man. We're the lucky ones, dude. There's like 3 million people out of work. We're the lucky ones.
I guess so.
Not only do we still have jobs, but we're still doing our jobs, right? We're not doing this work-at-home bullshit that so many other people are doing.
Well, it's kind of hard for somebody like me to work from home, considering I work on a machine that weighs several tons and requires a few hundred PSI of constant air pressure.
You mean you can't do that at your own house?
You know what? If I could, my life would be a hell of a lot more interesting. I'd be making all sorts of fun shit.
Yeah, all kinds of fun. You could just like what kind of shit can you make with this machine?
Anything.
Like if you had it at home and you could just make whatever you wanted, what's the kind of shit you would make?
Literally anything. I work on mills and lathes. I'm a machinist. Like if I can get a print that has all the dimensions and the tolerances and everything, I can probably literally make anything.
Sweet. So, what's up, everybody? I don't have anything planned for tonight. I didn't write any notes. Why? Because fucking Coronaville's got me feeling the blues. So, we're just going to kind of wing it tonight. Might be a shorter episode than our usual hour-long podcast. We'll see where things go. But there is a lot of Corona-related news to talk about. Lots of states have shut down completely. Millions of people have lost their jobs. The economy is taking a tanking, and New York City isn't doing very well right now. New York City, indeed, is doing so bad that mayors from neighboring states are actively searching out people with New York license plates and forcing them into quarantine. This is some next level shit we're talking about here. Literally forcing them into quarantine. Like, if you're from New York, we don't want your ass here, is basically what they're saying. It's not, and just the other day, the governor of Kentucky decreed by his own authority, apparently, that no Kentuckians can leave the state. So I don't know where the hell he thinks he has the authority to make such a decree, but apparently he thinks he can. So that's fun. To all you Kentuckians, you are now stuck in Kentucky. My condolences. Could be worse. You could be stuck in New York.
Yeah, I know. It's a shame that it took a virus like this to make everybody realize that they don't want New Yorkers in their state.
Here's the funny thing. It's people with New York license plates, right? So it's not even people from New York City. It's just anybody from the gigantic state of New York.
Yeah, it is pretty big geographically.
So, like, Joe Blow from upstate New York, corona cases 0. He can't go to Rhode Island either.
Right, but, I mean, Rhode Island's the size of a postage stamp. Is there really anything there?
I mean, they got 1 million people there.
Yeah, well, whatever. You know,
supposedly, I've never been. You know, it might be like Australia and birds. You know, it's just not real.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know. # Rhode Island isn't real.
Yeah, I saw a meme of a tweet today that said something like everything is backwards nowadays. Democrat governors are enforcing border control. The state of Illinois called gun stores essential. Mexico is locking down its border and refusing to accept Americans, and Republicans are offering UBI. So
I know the whole world has gone absolutely mad. Like it's madness. This is complete madness. right?
Cats are living with dogs. Black smells like yellow. East is west. Pandemonium.
Mass hysteria. I mean, it's the shit that's going down right now is literally unprecedented. No one has ever lived through something like this, right? There's no playbook. Like everybody is just flying by the seat of their pants. They don't know what they're doing. Nobody knows what they're doing, right?
Right.
Like it's funny. The military has a plan for literally any situation, right? They just is what they do. They just make up wacky scenarios and plan on what they would do in the case that happened. Like, what if Pakistan and India became best friends and decided to invade Afghanistan? How would we react to that? Like, stupid shit like that. Apparently, no one had a plan for what to do in a pandemic, though.
Yeah. Though the DoD has honest to God, has a zombie outbreak plan. I mean, it was made kind of tongue in cheek when The Walking Dead was still a good show, but yeah,
wow, that was years ago.
I know, and they came up with a DoD action plan for what if zombies. You know, your tax dollars at work, but you know, it's neither here nor there. But this whole coronavirus thing and the lack of response and then the over response and now the what the fuck do we do response, and some people are just like pulling levers and pushing buttons just to see I'm doing something, and it's just it's insane. And
not only that, but it's like they're tripping over each other to be the guy that responds the most.
right.
Like nobody wants to be the guy that under responds. Everyone wants to be the great leader that just over responds to everything and saves the day. That's what everyone wants to be, right?
Right. And then they end up stepping on their dicks and and making the problem worse. You know, it's like I don't know what part of the lobotomy procedure that you get when you become a national level federal politician, like completely takes the section of your brain out that makes you not realize that sometimes doing nothing is the best response. I mean,
here's the thing. A lot of libertarians are going to say that coronavirus isn't a big deal. We shouldn't be taking it seriously. It's not something that we should overly concern ourselves with, and I don't agree with that. Right? I think it is a big deal. I think we should all be taking precautions. But here's the thing. People pretend like you bringing up the economic impact of our reactions to it makes you a bad person, right? Like if you say millions of people just lost their jobs, that's bad. We need to take that into account. Oh, you don't value lives. You only value the stock market. You only value corporations. How dare you not take lives into account? Like, dude, fucking big businesses, they're not the ones that, like Jeff Bezos is not hurting right now, right? The Walton family isn't hurting right now. You know who's hurting right now? It's that mom and pop Chinese restaurant down the street that you go to every other week, right? It's that pizza joint down the street that you like, your favorite pizza place owned by a mom and pop in your hometown, supporting your local economy. They're hurting right now. It's the people that work for them. They're hurting right now. It's the Lyft driver you took last month. He's hurting right now. You know, it's everyday Joe Schmoes like you, like me. Well, not like us because we're part of the essential worker master race right now.
well, that's the thing.
The plebes that aren't working right now, they're hurting.
I don't know like about all this essential worker stuff. I mean, my job has, in the grand scheme of things, it's like I do odd jobs. Like I guess the market for widgets and doodads is essential, or maybe it's just that my boss doesn't give a fuck and is like, no, y'all are working, which I'm happy. I'm happy for. But yeah.
Like if you live out in rural America, none of this shit applies to you, right? like the governor of California isn't driving out to hillbilly Central California, population 50, and enforcing these lockdown orders, right? He's doing it in LA. He's doing it in San Francisco, San Diego, big cities, right?
Yeah.
You're good. You're out in the middle of nowhere. No one gives a fuck if you go outside, right?
I'm not in the middle of nowhere. I live in Grand Island. It's the third largest city in the state.
No,
I live
the third largest.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
They bounce back and forth. I don't know, but
I mean, anything outside of the Omaha Lincoln metro areas is the middle of nowhere.
Cows and corn.
Cows and corn. That's the only time I've ever been west of Lincoln was to knock on doors for Laura Epke. So anything out there might as well be the moon to me. You know what I mean? It's just corn. I just drive out there. I don't see anybody, so I assume nobody lives there.
Yeah, nobody lives here. It's just a bunch of shoeless hillbillies like me covered in mud with our Wi-Fi connections.
Fucking carrying around fully semi-automatic assault weapons with 50-round clips. All you guys you're all dangerous out there. But yeah, that's the thing about it. All these like say Nebraska went into a lockdown order the way California has, right? I'll people in the Omaha metro, yeah, lockdown. You're not going anywhere. But like, you think they're gonna send the National Guard to every little town in the state? Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, and do you think the local sheriffs in rural Nebraska are gonna fucking give a shit if Mr. Farmer is driving around? No one's gonna give a shit.
See, now that you mentioned it, in order to enforce these lockdowns, they're going to have to hire a lot more police officers, which means that those police officers will have to be out on the street to enforce the lockdown, which makes the lockdown a moot point. So some of these sheriffs that know what's up and realize that this is all just a bunch of bullshit could just do a mass deputization of like everybody in their county and be like, oh, y'all are essential law enforcement personnel now, but you're in reserve. So go to your regular job. Modern problems require modern solutions.
Deputize the bartenders.
That's right.
Make that a hashtag. Hashtag deputize bartenders. Let's make this a thing. Right? I mean, that's essential, right? I mean, the liquor stores are still open. That's essential, right?
Yeah.
It's funny when deciding what's essential and what's not essential. The public schools are non-essential. Liquor stores and marijuana dispensaries, those are essential.
Yeah.
And you know what? I believe it.
Yep. You got to put up with your own kids for, more than dinner and bedtime. So.
I mean, who has time for that? It's funny. I have never seen so many people walking their dogs, right? Going on hikes, riding bikes, shit like I've never seen so many people doing that in my life, right? But then there's nothing else to do, right? It's either that or sit in your house and be miserable, right? And it was a beautiful day today. It was a beautiful day yesterday. It was a beautiful day on Sunday. I went out to Platte River State Park and took a hike around the river. It was beautiful. Great time, right? And there was so many. It was packed. I've never seen the woods so packed in my life.
You gotta take a 6-foot stick out there with you and just like social distancing.
Start poking people.
Yeah.
Was like, oh, are you doing that because of Corona? I'm like, Corona? What? I don't know what that is. Just keep poking them with the stick.
I just don't want people near me. Get out of my bubble.
I do this all the time. Go the fuck away. Like I live in these woods. Why the hell are you here? What happened?
What are you people doing in my home?
I'm just picturing some hermit who lives by himself in the woods. No, he doesn't hear any news from the outside world, and all of a sudden, this horde of city slickers are just taking hikes in his woods. It's like, what the fuck is this? And he's like, "What? Why are you here?" He's like, "There's a pandemic, the end of the world." He's like,
"Then why are you here?"
This is the day I've been waiting for. This is why I've been living in the woods all these years.
Tips tinfoil hat.
Yes, but the hiker he's talking to is asymptomatic and gives him coronavirus, and he dies alone in his hut. That's a sad ending.
That is a sad ending. It's like if
It
my side of the mountain was a tragedy.
It's like it's like being a prepper, but being away from your stash when the apocalypse hits, so you don't even get to use it.
Yeah.
Sad story. Like you're on vacation across the country, and then the apocalypse hit, and you die like everybody else.
Yep.
Like all these dummies you were making fun of because they were gonna die in the apocalypse, and you were gonna be the one to live.
Yep.
Nope, you die too.
I left my bunker at 6 this morning to replenish my rice supply, and damned if the bombs didn't fall. While I was at the general store.
That's the thing about prepping, right? You got to be near your bunker when it goes down. If you're not near your bunker, it's not going to do you any good.
Nope.
Not at all. So I gotta wonder though, like they're legit preppers. Are they in their bunkers right now?
Some are.
Yeah, are they like they're like, this is the closest we'll get to an actual apocalypse. So god damn it, I'm getting in the bunker.
Well, yeah, and they're the most justified right now because with the social distancing and the house arrest and all of the other shit, it's just like, no, stay away from me, and I'm going to stay away from you, and the best place to do that is in a secure bunker full of beans.
Beans. These beans are from 1978, and they're still good.
Damn right they are.
These things never go bad. Oh, they'll just give you a horrible case of the farts.
Yep. I wouldn't want to be locked up in a bunker with that.
I don't know. You probably get used to it after a while, right? After several weeks sharing an enclosed space, eating nothing but beans. You almost wish that you'll be outside dying with everybody else.
I don't know. Everybody loves the smell of their own brand.
I guess, but like if you're by yourself, I guess that's fine, right? Because you're right. No one gives a shit about their own farts. Nobody, right? But if you're sharing the bunker with somebody else, they might start to care after a little bit. And if you're both eating nothing but beans, then you'll probably end up killing each other at some point in time.
Yeah, this is what happens when there's only one story in the news and Nathan doesn't do notes. Is it turns into a show about farts?
Sure, farts and beans. I mean, you brought up the beans. Don't blame me for that. Yeah, that's you. You're blaming me for the talking about beans and shit. We're gonna talk about beans if we want to.
That's right.
Well, there is a little a different story in the news right now. It's getting kind of buried because the world's ending or some shit like that. Joe Biden got accused of raping somebody. That's a thing.
And I suppose there's probably going to be a conspiracy angle around there where it's like, okay, guys, we know that a Me Too moment is inevitable with Joe Biden. I mean, come on. So we're just going to
Joe Biden. We're just video evidence of this.
Right. So we're just going to release this virus. It's going to be like a bad flu, and we're just going to hype the shit up. Like this is the second coming of the Black Death.
That's playing a long game, right? Yeah. That's good. That's a long game right there. You're going to release a virus just to cover up Joe Biden's sex scandals. I mean, talk about dedication.
Right.
I saw somebody suggest that this was a Hillary Clinton's way of suiciding everybody for making Epstein jokes.
Yeah.
And you know what? Maybe it was.
Right.
Right? You got to wash your hands to kill coronavirus because unlike Jeff Epstein, it won't kill itself.
That is absolutely correct.
So this woman named Tara Reid made the claim that like 20 years ago or something like that, Joe Biden fucking raped her, like rape, not inappropriate touching, not, the hair sniffing thing that Joe Biden does.
Yeah.
We're all well aware of that. But, rape. Which, you know what? Here's the thing about it. Back in the Kavanaugh hearings, I'm old enough to remember that, right? That was what, 20 years ago? Oh, no, wait, that was last September. God, last September seems like a million years ago, doesn't it?
It does.
It really does. See, like a lifetime ago, back when we saw the sun. But now we're all just stuck indoors. Well, not me and you. We're not. We're essential workers. We still get to go outside and enjoy the sun.
We're gonna get a lot of play out of that one, aren't we?
Dude, we're the master race right now, right? We're the guys that get to go out and do things, while everyone else is just looking at us jealous. Look at those. They think they're all that. There's essential workers.
Looking at us through their windows.
Well, I'm an essential worker. You just don't give a fuck, and your boss doesn't give a fuck, which is just as good, if not better.
Right. It's like,
right?
It's like, shutter these doors, bitch.
Yeah, because not only do you have the element of being essential in your own mind, which you are, but you also add the element of defiance. Right. Like, it's no like, if they do a general lockdown in Nebraska and I still go to work, that's not me defying anybody because I'm an essential worker. But if you go, you're defying the state.
That's right.
Fuck yeah.
That's right. Widgets and doodads aren't going to make themselves.
Way cooler than what I'm doing. I'm just picking up trash like I always do. Like, nothing has changed for me except on the weekends. I don't get to do anything fun. It's the only thing that's changed for me, and it's mostly because, it's just nonsense. There's nothing to do. You can't go out and do anything except take a hike or go to the wildlife safari, which has 1 million people having the same idea. They all want to go too.
Yep.
Like, we tried to go on Saturday, right? And the line was hundreds of cars just to get inside. Pissed me off. I'm like, nope. Turned right around and went home because I'm not going to do that.
Yep.
And we were talking about Joe Biden. Okay, so we were talking about Joe Biden. Joe Biden been accused by a woman named Tara Reid of committing rape against her about 20 or so years ago.
Isn't she an actress, or is that a different Tara Reid?
Are you thinking of Tara Reeves?
No.
No? Are you sure?
I don't know. I don't know how
Maybe.
this woman's name is spelled. I honestly, like, you've said something about there was some sexual misconduct stuff with Joe Biden, and I honestly didn't look into it because I figured it would just be some more weird Joe Biden hair sniffing shit that somebody decided that they would cash in on for political points or whatever.
No, it's actual real life accusations of something more than just Joe Biden being a creepy weirdo. And it's hilarious to me because here's my stance on it. Here's my stance. It's the same exact stance that I had for Brett Kavanaugh, right? Believe evidence. Where's the evidence, right? Is there any corroborating evidence to back this story up? And so far, there seems to be very little to none, right? And it comes out at a politically opportune time, right? Just like the Kavanaugh accusations, right? The only people she supposedly told at the time were close friends or family members, right? People who it probably wouldn't be too hard to convince to back you up after the fact. All right. That's the thing about it. There's as much evidence backing up this story as there is backing up the story against Brett Kavanaugh. That's a fact, right? There's no more reason to believe this than there was to believe that. It's just hearsay. One person saying something. That's it.
Yeah. The thing that strikes me as kind of weird about this is they don't need to fabricate a story like this from 20 years ago in order to hurt Joe Biden politically. The guy has reams and reams of documented on video evidence of being inappropriate around little girls on up to full-grown women. They've got just so much evidence stacking up now that he's got like a legitimate case of dementia. and
Yeah.
or senility or Alzheimer's or whatever else it is. If the story is real, I have to ask, why was it not reported before now? I mean, even last year would have been a more prudent time to report this, but they're
See,
reporting it now. And
here's the
another
thing.
thing,
She had previously accused him of inappropriate touching, right? She's not a new accuser. She had accused him before. It's the rape accusation that's new, right? That's new. And here's the thing. It is easier for me to believe this accusation than the Brett Kavanaugh stuff, because there was literally nothing. Nothing whatsoever, zero evidence at all. At least with creepy Uncle Joe, I have reams and reams and reams of video evidence of fucking Joe Biden sniffing people's hair and touching them weirdly, being a creepy weirdo, right? It's not difficult for me to imagine creepy weirdo Joe being more creepy weirdo, right? Because I have the proof that that's exactly what he is, a creepy old weirdo. Right? The proof is there. I don't have to make any leaps of logic to believe it. Right now, as far as the individual accusation of rape, right? As far as that one accusation, yeah, it's easier for me to believe it, but there isn't any real evidence to back it up. And that matters to someone like me, like you, to an objective observer. You know who it shouldn't matter to? All these fucking Democratic idiots who were screaming, "Me too, me too, me too, believe all women," back in September, right? All these people that didn't need a scrap of evidence to condemn Brett Kavanaugh as a rapist back then, but who now require evidence to label Joe Biden as a rapist. You know, when you accuse a Republican of being a rapist, they just me too, me too, me too. If you don't believe her, that just means you're a rape apologist. Ooh, that's exactly what it means. But all of a sudden, we knew it was happening, right? We knew it was going to happen. Back then, we were making this prediction that this was going to happen, right? That, hey, these standards that you're trying to apply to others, that you're trying to apply to Republicans, are going to be used against you at some point in time.
They always are.
You are going to regret this. And lo and behold, their nominee for president of the United States now stands accused of rape. And if you're in that believe all women crowd, if you're in that Me Too crowd, if you don't want to be a raging fucking hypocrite, you best believe it. Now where are you at?
Stand up and be counted, please. That is all there is. I think that right now, though, the hardest decision about Joe Biden, for me at least, is what does he sound like in my internal monologue? Professor Farnsworth from Futurama or Mr. Herbert from Family Guy? Because on the one hand, we've got the doddering old man from Futurama. Oh yes, come here, little children, let me sniff your hair. And then we've also got Mr. Herbert. Come on over here, children. Let me sniff on your hair a little bit.
You're a bad boy.
I got a whole freezer full of popsicles down in the cellar.
Oh, it's so fucking perfect. You even did the fucking whistle sound.
Yeah.
Oh, you did. You even did the whistle. I can't do the whistle sound. That was fucking perfect, dude. Absolutely spot on. And that's the thing about it. Here's what I've been doing all day. Here's how I entertain myself on a Tuesday, right? I've been on a group called Elizabeth Warren for President 2020. Oh, dude, it's fucking hilarious because all these people were Elizabeth Warren fans, right? Most of them. There's a lot of Bernie bros there too who are just out of their mind, pissed off that Joe Biden is beating their Messiah. Right? And they refuse to believe it. That's a whole different level of cringe, though. But most of the people there were Warren supporters. So they're all old boomers, right? And when Warren lost, they went straight to Biden, right?
As they
And here's the thing.
directed.
Yeah, here's the thing about it. Warren is supposed to be like the feminist hero, right? She's supposed to be the strong, doesn't take shit from anybody woman. You know, the woman that's gonna take on Washington and represent all women. So these are all people who bought into that Me Too bullshit, right? Even the boomers. All these people. That was them, right? And they have been literally telling me all day long that it doesn't matter if Biden is a rapist. He's still a better rapist than Trump. Therefore, you owe him your vote. Let that fucking sink in for a minute. You owe Biden your vote because he's the better rapist than Trump.
Oh man, you know,
wow.
Trump was accused of a lot of inappropriate sexual stuff. Like, I don't think he was ever accused of actual rape, at least not credibly. And when Trump was accused of rape, he, you know, it was one of those things that it was just like, yeah, you kind of saw it coming, and you knew what kind of person Donald Trump was, like, from day one, because his life was always so public. You know, now that there's a Joe Biden rape, it's like, yeah, we saw this coming too, but it's just like they're carrying water for him and trying to cover everything up, and that just makes the irony so much more delicious.
Like, all these, it's funny because literally all these people, they believe Brett Kavanaugh and Donald Trump are both rapists because of accusations, right? That's all it takes to believe the worst about a Republican. But all of a sudden, Joe Biden gets accused, and either, oh, he didn't do it, she's just a paid Putin operative. That's the thing they go to. Anyone who doesn't like Joe Biden and thinks he's a creepy weirdo works for Putin personally.
Putin.
Right? They're all paid Putin trolls. Like, I'm a paid Putin troll. Like, I'm simultaneously a troll and a bot. So I don't think they understand that there's a difference between a troll and a bot, right? A bot's not a real person. A troll is. There's a difference there. And I will fully admit, yes, I am trolling you. I am. I have no problem admitting that. Right? If someone would pay me to troll you, I'd happily take their money because I'm already fucking doing it. I'm trolling the shit out of you. And all it's doing is revealing your own hypocrisy. Because yes, I am trolling you. I am doing that. But your responses are enlightening, right? The way you respond to these trolls reveals a lot about yourself. And what it reveals about yourself is you don't give a fuck if you vote for an actual rapist so long as there's a D by their name. And I think that makes you disgusting. You think I'm disgusting because I'm trolling you? I think you're disgusting for condoning rape. Suck it.
So here's a quick question. Let me just get your take on this. Who do you think is enjoying this quarantine, house arrest, whatever you want to call it, more? Internet trolls who now have so much more free time on their hand to ply their trade, or dogs?
It's definitely not cats. They're not enjoying it. Yeah, internet trolls, definitely. I mean, me, I don't have any more time than I used to because, like, literally nothing's changed for me during the week. But man, if you're an internet troll right now, and here's the thing, not only do you have more free time because you're stuck at home, your victims are all stuck at home too.
You have a captive audience, you know. So you're going to be out there, you know, all of these boomers that are the ones that are really having to self-isolate in order to not get themselves killed off are the ones that are going to be finding themselves posting their cringy permanent caps lock on memes, and
oh, the Biden boomer memes. They're just the cringiest you've ever seen.
it is, as we used to call in the Army, a target-rich environment.
Like, you're surrounded? Good. That means
Yes.
you can kill in all directions.
That is right.
Oh, it really is. Target-rich environment does not even begin to describe it. And when they give you such juicy little morsels like vote for Biden, even if he's a rapist, how can you resist just going back for more?
At what point do you just take a step back and be like, wait a minute, am I being baited? Is this a Poe?
No,
It can't be this easy.
You know what? If they weren't all boomers, I might think that. But boomers do not have enough internet savvy to understand to play a double agent game like that. Like I said, someone was being like, "You're not making any sense." I'm like, "Let me break it down for you. Joe Biden is big dumb, D-U-M dumb." And he's like, "That's not even spelled correctly." Oh my God, that's the fucking point. Oh, you stupid boomer. Come on now.
Sir, they have us surrounded. Oh, those poor bastards.
I am surrounded by fear and dead men. It's like, that's not even, you didn't even spell dumb right. Oh, you poor human being. No, I didn't spell it right. Yes, you're right. You caught me. D-U-M is not how you spell dumb. And big dumb is not proper English either. You got me. Oh no. I am defeated. You think you just sit back and be like, big dumb? Maybe they're really just calling me big dumb.
That would take a degree of self-awareness that I don't think they have anymore.
It would. Okay, let's get to this clip that you sent me. Okay, so who is this individual that we're looking at right now on the screen?
Oh, this is the galaxy-brained mayor of Houston, Texas, who, I have to say, nail on the head, has solved all crime problems. I mean, okay, so you know since we're talking about Joe Biden's rape thing, you know that the Me Too crowd, they're very, very fond of when somebody like me says maybe it would be prudent to arm yourself or take a self-defense class. You always get the snarky snapback of, well, why don't we just teach men not to rape? And it's like, fucking, why didn't I think of that? I poll 100 prisoners in prison for rape, and it turns out that, hey, did you guys know that what you did was illegal before you did it? And they're like, no, I had no idea. Everybody knows that rape is wrong, you chucklehead.
Like, I thought it was okay. She kept telling me to stop. I thought that meant go. If only someone had told me about this. Oh, I feel like a fool.
Right, exactly.
So this guy fixed all crime.
All crime. All of it, you know.
Forever.
Teach men not to rape was a good start, but this guy's thinking big picture. Play it.
Teach people not to crime. Now, how did he do this?
And let me just make my plea. Until the coronavirus is resolved, criminals take a break. Okay? Stay home. Okay? Stay home. And don't commit any crimes. And that way, they'll stay safe and out of jail. And police officers will stay safe and can go home to their families. Okay? So everybody chill. Crooks, criminals, you chill. Wait till the coronavirus is over. Okay? And then we'll all be okay.
And then what? And then what? Wait till it's over and then what?
Then back to business as
crime
usual.
again?
Okay, guys, coronavirus is over. You can all get back to your regularly scheduled criming.
just wait till the coronavirus is over, and then what, Mr. Mayor? What do I do then? I still want to crime.
Exactly. It's like, I don't know if you noticed or not, but being locked up in the house for the past 2 weeks, there's a lot of shit that I didn't get to steal. So now I got to play catch up. Thank you very much.
Yeah. There's a lot of people out there who bought a lot of shit for lockdown that I haven't taken yet. All right? I got to take that shit. I'm a criminal. But the mayor told me to chill, so I chilled.
Right.
You know, what if he just said until forever, just chill? But why did he set an end date for that? Right? Seems to me that he should want people to chill all the time. Seems reasonable to me.
Chill indefinitely.
Exactly. So this guy, he solved all crime for the duration of the coronavirus outbreak.
Right.
But he has not solved it for all of time. He needs to get back in front of that podium and tell his criminals to chill forever. And that'll be it. They'll chill forever.
Excuse me. Addendum to my previous statement. Yes, not just until the coronavirus is over. We're going to extend this chill time on the crime to forever. Thank you.
You are not allowed to commit. There should be a law. I am passing a law where you are not allowed to commit any more crimes.
Yep, no more crimes.
Now, everyone is now required to chill. It's a requirement. You know, you have your lockdown orders and your chill out orders. And they just issued a chill out order. So if you don't chill out, well, I don't even know what, because they're not arresting people anymore for shit. So I don't even know what you're going to do if they don't chill out. No, we missed this. We missed this a couple of weeks ago, where the city of Philadelphia is instructing their police officers not to enforce crimes of theft. And they're telling people publicly that they're doing this. That
is the big point. It's bad enough if you're going to be telling your police officers, hey, you know, maybe just let some stuff slide. But to publicly announce it, to go out there and like flip open a sheet and be like, all right, here's stuff you can get away with. Go ahead.
No shit. I mean, it's that, but it's like the crimes they're because I can understand it. You know, it'd be great if they're just like, all right, we're no longer enforcing drug laws or parking tickets or shit like that, right? No longer enforcing that. That's great. But they're not enforcing Grand Theft Auto or theft of personal property. Like if someone breaks into your house and steals something, oh, a victimless crime. According to them, like I'm here, I'm a victim. He stole my shit. I had shit here and they took it. I'm the victim. Why aren't you enforcing this? Why are you telling him that he can get away with it? It makes no sense.
Right.
It's baffling, dude. I don't understand it at all. But we missed a lot of stories from last week. But here's a great story, right? California, right? California is one of the most stringent gun control states in the entire nation. And guess what Californians were doing last week when all this shit started getting very real very fast? They were buying guns.
We're trying.
And they were finding out real quick what the practical effects of all their gun laws really are. Because in California, you can't just do what I can do here in Nebraska and go to your local gun store and just buy a gun and go home with it. No, sir. Not in California. You live in California, you got to have a 10-day waiting period. Oh, but at the end of 10 days, some fucking asshole might break into my house and steal all my shit. Well, too bad. Too bad, because you wanted a 10-day waiting period. Oh, what's that? You can't just go online and order a gun from Texas and have them ship it straight to your house? They got to send it to the gun store where they have to hold on to it for 10 days? Yep. Oh my God, you mean to tell me that loophole bullshit doesn't actually exist? Oh no, you poor things.
Silver lining, it is red pilling a lot of first-time gun buyers in California as to the effects of their terrible, awful, no good, horrible, very bad gun laws.
It's fucking, it didn't, I hope they learn a lesson from this. I
They
hope
won't.
everybody learns a lesson from that. And you're right, they probably won't. But the lesson that you should take from all of this, right, from Philadelphia not enforcing crimes of theft, to California locking you into your home, to Kentucky telling you you're not allowed to leave the state, right? The one thing you should take away from this coronavirus outbreak is at the end of the day, you are the only person that can defend yourself. Your well-being and the well-being of those closest to you is in your hands, not the police, not the National Guard, not the president or your governor or Speaker Pelosi. None of these people have your best interests in heart. None of them give a damn about you, right? And when push comes to shove, none of them are going to show up in your defense.
Yep.
The only person that can adequately defend you is you. The only person that can defend your family is you. And if you deprive yourself of the means to do that, all you are doing is setting yourself up for victimhood.
Right. And
that's
that's
what a lot of these people are finding out.
That's what these people fail to understand, though. When these people, they vote or they petition or they make a referendum for gun laws like this, they never, ever, ever envision that it will come back on them. They're never restricting their own rights in their minds. They're always projecting that onto somebody else. This is going to keep guns out of the hands of those people, those bad people. I'm a good person, so this can't possibly ever affect me until it does. Now, when all of this is said and done, I would not be surprised if a lawsuit were to come out of this from somebody who went in to buy a gun, had to go with the mandatory waiting period, and then got robbed in the interim. In fact,
Or worse.
Or worse, yes. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if a criminal was just hanging out at gun stores listening for people to be like, I want that gun. Okay, 10 days. What do you mean 10 days? I need it now. And then following that person home, knowing that they're unarmed. And when that happens, not if, when something like that happens, that's a lawsuit against the state's gun laws. And it's a slam dunk, and any attorney in the country would be wise to take up such a case.
Absolutely. And this is one of the reasons why here at Roads to Liberty, specifically at Token Hobbs, are very, very adamant about not surrendering an inch when it comes to gun laws. We need to go on the offensive when it comes to the Second Amendment issues, not retreating. Right? This is why we hate the NRA so much, because the NRA are a bunch of pussies who will not stand up for your gun rights.
Right.
Right? When it's a Republican trying to do things, they just lie on their back and take it.
Right.
Right? That's what they do. But we want gun laws repealed. We do not want a single new gun law added to the law books.
Right.
Not a single one. We think it's a damn shame that all these people in California who are finding out right now that they need a gun, it's a damn shame they can't get one, but it's also their fault.
Yep. On their best day, groups like the NRA hold the line. This is not a time for holding the line. This is a time for pushback. Most of the time, the NRA will take a small loss in anticipation of a small amount of ground gained back by fighting it in the courts. I say it shouldn't even be getting to that point. You shouldn't even have to take that small L. When a law that is repugnant to the Constitution is passed, it is null and void. Period. All gun laws are an infringement. Period. If you can safely possess that item without putting anybody else's life, health, or property in danger, you should be able to own whatever the fuck you want. Period.
Period. End of story, my man. And it's I am very much hoping that that's the direction we take, but I doubt it. And see, I take coronavirus seriously. I think this is a big deal. I think that everyone should be taking precautions against it, especially if you live in a large city. But all these things that are going down right now, they're scary. They really are. Like, we are seeing the disintegration of civil liberties in this country at an alarming pace. And I get it. You're scared about the coronavirus. You're frightened by it. You know what? Maybe you should be. It is a big deal. This is one of the biggest deals we've dealt with in our lifetimes. But you know what a bigger deal is? A fascist government that you enable out of fear. That's a bigger deal. I am far more afraid of what this country can turn into by handing the reins of power to government, as opposed to what might happen if we just let this virus go. Right? I am way more afraid of what government can do, because government, given the power to do so, can absolutely make everybody's lives absolutely miserable forever.
Right.
There is no greater killer than big government. It kills at an alarming rate. And we're starting to see it around the world. Governments across the world are reacting very harshly to this thing. Hungary had just enabled their prime minister with dictatorial powers indefinitely as a response to coronavirus. Not for the duration of the crisis, indefinitely.
Yep.
Right? And I would bet that's not going to be the last country that does that.
Right.
There's going to be a lot of evil men in this country who are going to be looking to take advantage of this situation to further their own ends.
Yep. And
we got to be vigilant against that.
It's not just at the federal level either. A lot of these state governments are getting absolutely drunk on power, and like Kentucky banning out-of-state travel, California basically locking the entire state down. And the thing that sucks about this pandemic and what we're doing in order to combat it is that COVID-19 targets the elderly almost exclusively. Yeah,
it's an important caveat.
Right, almost exclusively. And in order to safeguard our elderly, which it's a tragedy when anybody dies, but in order to safeguard our elderly, we are destroying this country for our children and grandchildren. That is a price I'm unwilling to pay.
And here's the thing. People are refusing to understand that this is indeed a price they're being asked to make. Right? Now, I can understand you looking at that and saying, you know what, we got to pay a price. We got to pay a price to stop this thing. People are pretending that there isn't a price to pay. Like there's no balance sheet here, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's indecent to consider economic impacts as though economy only consists of the stock market. Like the straw man that people build up. Oh, you're only concerned about stock prices. I don't give a fuck about stock prices, right? I care when all this is over. If I go out to celebrate with my family to our favorite restaurant and they're closed down,
yep,
they don't exist anymore, and that is a very real possibility, right? Everyday human beings who spent their entire lives building something, working towards something, have that all snatched away in an instant. That's a real price to pay.
Right.
That's real. That's tangible. That's actual human suffering. And you have to take that into account. Now, if you take that into account and say, this is a price we have to pay, unfortunately, that's one thing. But you can't just say, oh, it's indecent for you to think about that person. It's indecent of you to think of the millions of people who lost their livelihoods. They no longer have jobs. They no longer have homes. They're living in poverty now because of our reaction to this virus. And that's a real possibility. It's a real possibility that this country goes into an economic depression because of this thing, stimulus package or no stimulus package.
All right. This isn't even a stimulus package. It's a bailout package. It's money created out of thin air, managed to tack onto our debt. This isn't like, the more I thought about it, this isn't even like I said that getting my own money back isn't even socialism. This isn't money that's being taken out of the treasury. This isn't tax money that we've already paid. This is money that has been created out of thin air in order to fund this thing. This is just more borrowed money. It's more debt. So I think I honestly hope to God that Thomas Massey and his stunt causes this fuck all bill to fail in the House fail at the Senate, fail to get signed by the president. I don't want this thing passed. I don't care if I don't get my 1,200 woo bucks. I don't want this. I don't want that extra 2.5, 4 trillion, whatever the hell number it ends up being tacked onto the debt. It's too much. And if the government would just remove the roadblocks that it's put in front of the free market that is keeping the market from responding to this crisis the way that the market would if it wasn't being held back with an anchor around its foot, then we would probably have already bounced back and everybody would be back to work with the proper amount of PPE and disinfectant and all the other crap that we need but can't get because bureaucratic organizations like the FDA are standing in the way of the companies that have the manufacturing capacity to make these things but are being held back from doing so until official inspectors can get in and do their job.
Yeah, just last week, there were companies trying to make hand sanitizer, and the FDA finally said, all right, screw it, we'll let you do it.
Yeah.
Like, why the fuck do you need the FDA's approval to make hand sanitizer?
Yeah,
why is that a thing?
These are liquor companies. Alcohol is what they do.
Yeah. I'll buy Anheuser-Busch hand sanitizer any day.
Yeah.
Sounds great. A Corona brand hand sanitizer. What a way to kill the coronavirus with a Corona brand hand sanitizer. That would be fucking excellent. You know, I like to think every time that I put hand sanitizer on my hands, I'm committing a miniature genocide of coronaviruses. It's just, yes, dead viruses in my hand. Millions of them.
We got Germ Hitler over here, everybody.
I mean, what are vegans going to think of me? Right? Viruses are living things too, are they not? Who am I to say that my life is more important than a virus's?
There you go.
There you go. You know what? Fuck vegans. They're so annoying. You know, if you're not annoying vegan, if you're a vegan who just does the vegan thing, but you're not an annoying prick, I apologize to you. You don't deserve that. But if you're one of those annoying idiot vegans who just likes to fucking get on a soapbox and pretend you're better than everyone, fuck you. Seriously. Nobody likes you. Especially now. No one has any time for your shenanigans.
Yep.
Okay. So we've spoke for an hour about absolutely nothing, and we didn't have any notes for any of that. So awesome.
I had a good laugh. I hope everybody else did too. These unscripted shows, we always go in with a little bit of trepidation because they always run the risk of being a total shit show, but they always usually end up being some of the funniest ones that we do, at least to me.
Yeah, this one was at least pretty good. Okay, so that's it for now. For everybody who's on the podcast network, I just uploaded my interview with Sam Robb. He's running for president as a libertarian right now, so make sure to check that out. I don't have any interviews scheduled coming up, but hopefully we'll have some more coming to you next week. And that's it. That's all for me. We'll probably be talking about coronavirus again next week, and the week after that, and the week after that, because this shit never fucking ends. Just keep going. Well, you know what? There'll probably be more Biden accusations. Some more governors or mayors or presidents might do some more fascist shit that we need to call out. So we'll be here to talk about all that good stuff when it comes. You got anything else, Odds, before we say adieu?
Not really. Just fucking calm down. Go back to work. Take vitamin C, zinc, and tonic water. Tonic water has quinine in it, which is the active ingredient in hydroxychloroquine, which is the drug that the FDA just put on emergency status right now. It's the one that's showing a lot of promise. Take it prophylactically. Tonic water, vitamin C, zinc. Take an iodine supplement too, why don't you?
Don't drink fish tank cleaner.
God, don't do that.
You fucking idiots. Don't do that.
Hydroxychloroquine is not chloroquine phosphate. I am not a chemist, but even I know that those two things, round hole, square peg.
Yeah, I'm not a chemist either, but I hear the word phosphate and I think danger. That's danger, right? Don't put that in my body. And what do I know, right? Okay, that's it, everybody. Thanks so much for stopping by. I had a blast. I hope you guys had a blast too. Remember, the website is think-liberty.com. Subscribe to our podcast network, Think Liberty, to get all our awesome shows. Subscribe to us on Facebook. We just passed 10,000 likes last week. Very happy about that. So keep that coming. And we'll see you again next week on the next episode of the Token and Hobbs Show. Good night, everybody.